So I actually haven't done one of these in a few days. I've been spending a lot of time the last couple of days working on an online assignment, which I did just now. Just now being like an hour ago, then I went and got something to eat. Which is kind of cool because this is an assignment that was like an online timed assignment. And it's kind of the only thing I really needed to bring like the laptop for, so that kind of like takes some of the stress off, because I actually have one more assignment left, but it's a lot more lackadaisical, so it's something that, you know, I can do a lot more easily and simply, I think. So it's actually the last, I only have one more thing to do before I go back to Canada, and then it's kind of like Christmas break or New Year's break after that. So that's pretty cool. So in Chiang Mai, I haven't been exploring as much as I would have liked because I've been busy doing this assignment, but I've been finding a lot of, like, I'll walk this way down the street and I'll walk the other way, and when I walk the other way I can kind of see what I couldn't see because there was maybe a wall, and there's like a billion like big beautiful temples here that I just walk by and don't even notice. So I'm gonna start like taking some pictures. I think that's what I'm gonna be doing in the next day or two. A fun observation about this place, compared to Bangkok, this is like the second biggest city. A lot more green and foliage here. So behind me I can see half a dozen different colored flowers in the trees. You can maybe see like that thing. Red, very nice. That one's for you, Mom. And yeah, I haven't done as much of the really fun like touristy stuff. So there's like, you know, reserves you can go to see elephants, and reserves you can go to see the tigers, and the reserves you can go see the monkeys, but I'm going to be trying to do some of those things this week. I'm actually going to move hotels in the next 2 days, because right now I'm kind of wedged between like the old city and the night bazaar. And if you do the map of Chiang Mai, they both become pretty obvious, but the old city is actually like this perfect square in the map, because like I said in the previous video, it actually is like the moat and the wall of like a former, you know, capital of a kingdom, right? And that's a little bit more like touristy central, so I'm gonna go there because there's a lot more of like the cooking schools and things like that. So just one more observation before I walk away. So like over there is the hotel I've been staying at, and over here is where they got like their foodstuffs. And it seems to be the case with like a lot of people in Thailand, where they always have, well, sometimes they'll have just like one job, maybe it'll be just a taxi driver, just a masseuse, but these guys are a good example of having like a couple things on the go. So they cooked my food while the other girl was like cutting someone's hair, and they'll apparently do my laundry, and they probably do my taxes if I ask them to. So such is sort of like the way of the land, right? Everyone's gonna kind of make a buck wherever you can, I guess. Okay, kind of random. So I'm walking the streets, and there's a lot of temples here, and I've been going in and out, seeing lots of like really like awe-inspiring golden Buddhas. But the funny thing is, like everywhere I go where they have all these Buddhas, they also have these things over here. So every city that I've gone to has had a pre-made metal structure of the alien monster and the predator monster, and for some reason they are everywhere. Well, not everywhere, like to find one every street corner, but you know, every town that I go to, I'm gonna find one of these guys, and they're really like way over the top. Like you can see, if you look closely, they're made out of like, so that's like chain from, say, like, I don't even know what kind of chain. That's like chain from like a motorcycle. Over here, like his fingers, is like some rebar. Somebody's going to an awful lot of trouble to make these things. And I've seen a bunch of them outside of like tattoo shops where they kind of look like the Dark Knight from like Monty Python. I just thought it was sort of an interesting thing to look at. Alright, so what was all that stuff I just showed you that I didn't narrate? The reason I wasn't talking is because there's like enough people around that I didn't want to come off as a crazy person. But it seems that we have now hit the auspicious occasion of the king's birthday. So the king's a big deal here in Thailand, being like a kingdom and all that. I'm at the Three Kings Monument. So behind me, there's like these three guys chatting over something. And they're particularly built kings, because, you know, kings are very muscular. And somebody told me it's kind of like a couple of days sort of thing. So I've been hearing a couple of fireworks, but I haven't really seen them because I was kind of in the wrong part of town. There's a whole bunch of these like cool lamps around here. And they say that there's going to be more tomorrow, with more balloons tomorrow and more celebrations tomorrow. So over the next like day or two, and you know, even right behind me right now, I can see like a bunch of musicians with like, you know, instruments and boxes kind of walking by. I see a guy with like the viola walking by. So it's a big deal. I would imagine the big deal would be to actually like be in Bangkok, because I think that's where the king's like primary residence is. He's got a bunch of different places he lives throughout the year. And one of them's here, one of them's in Bangkok, and then one of them's kind of in like the southern beach area, but not in an area that I went to. That's where he like hangs out in the summertime, I guess. And we're in the summertime, so he's probably here. That's what I know.